Okay, so you're on the hunt for a new job, right? You've probably heard that the whole process is going digital.
Yeah, and it's true.
And you're right.
It can feel like you're throwing your resume into a black hole sometimes.
It's tough out there.
Yeah.
But what if there was a way to not just play the game, but win it? Even with those AI gatekeepers everyone's talking about. That's why we're doing a deep dive into RoleCatcher.com. They say they've figured out how to use AI to actually land your dream job.
What I find really interesting about RoleCatcher is that they're not just another job board. They're really addressing this huge shift in hiring the rise of AI gatekeepers, specifically something called applicant tracking systems, or ATS for short. These systems actually filter resumes before a human even looks at them.
So it's not even about having the right skills anymore. It's about making sure my resume, like, speaks robot. That's kind of freaky.
It can be, but that's where RoleCatcher comes in, which is interesting. Their CV resume builder analyzes job descriptions to figure out exactly what those AI gatekeepers are looking for.
So it's like RoleCatcher is my resume therapist, decoding what the hiring manager really wants.
Yes, exactly. No more just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best.
That's a game changer. So many times I've agonized over my resume, just wondering if it was even making it past the robots.
Yeah,
But this goes beyond just keywords, right?
absolutely. RoleCatcher digs deeper than just buzzwords. It looks for hard skills, soft skills, and even get the specific knowledge areas employers want.
Knowledge, too. Okay, so it's not enough to just list, like, project management on my resume. I have to actually show that I understand, like, the nitty-gritty.
Exactly. So, for example, let's say a company wants someone with expertise in customer relationship management. Just having CRM on your resume isn't going to cut it. They want to see that you understand the underlying concepts and that you've actually used them in the real world.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But, like, weaving all that into a resume that doesn't sound like a robot wrote it, that's the hard part.
And they've thought of that too. RoleCatcher's Copilot AI feature actually helps you rewrite your resume and cover letter. It suggests ways to incorporate those missing skills and keywords, but in a way that sounds natural, compelling.
It's like having a professional resume writer, like on-call 247. But let's say you do make it past the AI gatekeepers. There's still the interview process. Any help there?
Oh, RoleCatcher has you covered. They have a database of, get this, over 120,000 interview questions. And they're organized by career and skill set. So you're not getting generic advice here. You're practicing with questions that are highly relevant to the roles you're interested in.
It's like having a personal career coach in my pocket, guiding me every step of the way. But this brings up something I've been wondering about. With tools this powerful, is there a risk of everyone's applications all starting to sound the same?
It's a valid concern. I mean, it's a double-edged sword, right? These tools can level the playing field, but it's crucial to remember they're just that, tools. You still need to bring your own unique experiences and personality to the table.
So it's about working with the AI, not letting it, do the work for me.
Exactly. Think of it this way. These tools can unlock the door to potential jobs, but it's up to you to walk through that door and really shine in your own way.
That's a great analogy. And speaking of opening doors, I'm curious about this RoleCatcher.capture thing I saw on their website. What's that all about?
Oh, that's cool. It's a browser extension that's basically like having a personal assistant for your job search. You can save jobs from any job board you're on, LinkedIn, Indeed, company websites, it doesn't matter, and it brings them all into one central dashboard within RoleCatcher.
Genius. I can't even tell you how many times I've bookmarked a job and then totally blanked on where I found it.
Right, exactly. No more endless scrolling and clicking through tabs trying to remember what you've already looked at.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Plus, RoleCatcher goes beyond just saving links. It actually analyzes those job descriptions and pulls out key information like required skills and experience so you can get insights at a glance.
This is already painting a picture of a way more organized job search. No more feeling like I'm drowning in a sea of applications.
Yeah.
But what about these career guides they mentioned? Are we talking like generic one-size-fits-all advice?
Not at all. RoleCatcher claims to have over 3,000 career guides, each one focused on a specific job title.
3,000. They weren't kidding about comprehensive.
Right. They go into detail about responsibilities, required skills, average salaries, potential career paths, even common interview questions. It's pretty amazing.
That's wild. This could be helpful for anyone, really, from someone just starting out to a seasoned professional like me. But let's be honest, the job market is a jungle out there. What really makes RoleCatcher stand out from the pack? What's their secret sauce?
Well, aside from everything we've already talked about, they've actually kind of flipped the script on how you connect with employers.
Okay.
Remember those AI-powered ATS systems we talked about?
Yeah, the one scanning for those specific skills and keywords.
Right. Well, RoleCatcher lets employers search for candidates within their platform using that same AI technology.
Wait, so by creating a profile on RoleCatcher and like really building out my resume, I'm making myself discoverable to employers who are actively looking for someone with my skills.
Exactly. Instead of you searching for them, they can find you. It's like reverse engineering the entire job search process.
Okay, this is blowing my mind. No more hoping my application lands on the right desk. I'm putting myself directly in the path of opportunity. This all sounds amazing, but there's got to be a catch, right?
The basic version of RoleCatcher, with all the features we've talked about so far, is completely free to use. They do offer a premium subscription called RoleCatcher Copilot AI, but we'll dive into that a bit later.
Copilot AI. Now that has me intrigued. Is that like self-driving job applications or something? Self-driving job applications. I like the sound of that. But seriously, what does this premium Copilot AI actually do?
It takes all this AI assistance we've been talking about and it like kicks it into overdrive.
Okay.
Remember how RoleCatcher helps you tailor your resume so it speaks to those AI gatekeepers?
Yeah.
Well, Copilot AI takes it a step further. It analyzes job descriptions and actually suggests optimal answers to those application questions.
So it's not just catching what's missing. It's like helping me craft the perfect response. That's wild.
Hmm.
But what about those of us who like totally dread interviews? Can Copilot AI hold my hand through that too?
You bet. It builds on their free interview practice tool, and it adds in personalized feedback. So you record yourself answering questions, and Copilot AI analyzes everything: your delivery, body language, even like how often you say,
It's like having a virtual interview coach who's not afraid to tell it like it is, right? That's super valuable to practice and get that kind of objective feedback, but in a low-pressure environment.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
And, since we're on the topic of getting personal, there's one more feature of the premium subscription I wanted to touch on. It's called red flag detection.
Red flag detection. Okay, that sounds a little intense. What is it exactly?
So imagine having like a second set of eyes on all your application materials, right?
Right.
Copilot AI scans for anything that might raise an eyebrow with a potential employer. Things like, I don't know, inconsistencies in your work history, gaps in your resume.
Oh, I see.
It can even flag potential issues with how your resume might be interpreted by those AI gatekeepers we talked about.
That's huge. Sometimes it's those little things we miss that can really make all the difference. Okay, I have to admit, this Copilot AI is sounding pretty tempting. It's like having a whole team of career experts in my corner,
Right.
cheering me on. But before I hand over my credit card, there was something else you mentioned, something called Career Compass.
Ah, yes, Career Compass. This one's less about the immediate job hunt and more about the bigger picture, your overall career trajectory, right? It's a tool that helps you identify and explore potential career paths based on your existing skills, interests, and goals.
So it's like a GPS, but for my career, guiding me towards roles and industries that like really align with what I'm looking for. Tell me more, because honestly, sometimes I feel a bit lost on this whole career journey thing.
I totally get it. And that's actually where Career Compass can be really helpful. You plug in your existing skills and experience, and it uses that data along with things like, your interests, salary expectations, and then suggests potential career paths that might be a good fit.
So it's not just about what I'm good at now. It's about where I want to go long term.
Exactly. It helps you spot potential areas where you can grow, see what skills or qualifications you might need to get there. It's like having a roadmap for your professional life.
I love that. Instead of just applying for any job that comes my way, I can focus on building a career that's both personally fulfilling, but also has, long-term potential. But let's be real for a sec. The job market is brutal out there. What really sets RoleCatcher's Career Compass apart?
So what's really cool is it doesn't just suggest random job titles, right?
Yeah.
It considers things like salary expectations, the job outlook in your area, even your preferred work-life balance. It's all about finding a path that's not just a good fit for your skills, but is also, realistic and sustainable.
Okay, you've officially made me a believer. RoleCatcher sounds like it has it all figured out, from the crafting the perfect resume to helping me plan my dream career. But there's one piece of the puzzle we haven't really touched on yet. Networking. In today's digital world, is networking even still a thing?
Oh, absolutely. Even with all this amazing technology, The human element is still huge when it comes to hiring. People want to work with people they know, like, and trust. And that's where RoleCatcher's networking features come in.
Okay, color me intrigued. How does RoleCatcher, like, up my networking game? Do they have a secret society of job seekers or something?
Not quite a secret society.
Yeah.
But they definitely make networking way more strategic. They have a whole section on their platform dedicated to managing your professional contacts, sort of like a, I don't know, a turbocharged LinkedIn, but
Yeah.
within RoleCatcher.
Okay, I'm listening.
It goes way beyond just listing your contacts, though. You can categorize them, tag them with relevant keywords, even link them to specific job applications.
Oh, yeah.
So no more awkward have we met moments. Or scrambling to remember what you talked about last time you saw someone.
It's like having a cheat sheet for all my professional relationships.
Yeah.
But what about those hidden connections? You know, like the friend of a friend who works at my dream company.
Yeah.
How do I find those?
RoleCatcher has you covered there, too. It can
Yeah.
actually identify those connections you might not even think of showing you if any of your contacts work at a company, or if they have connections who do, kind of like LinkedIn's degrees of separation feature, but on steroids.
This is incredible. They've taken all the guesswork out of networking. But, you know, finding connections is one thing. How do I actually nurture those relationships without coming across as, like, too desperate or salesy?
That's where the relationship building tools come in. RoleCatcher lets you set reminders to follow up with contacts, send personalized messages, even share relevant articles or industry news.
So it's not just about hitting them up when I need something. It's about building genuine, mutually beneficial relationships over time.
Exactly. It's all about staying top of mind, positioning yourself as someone who's engaged and really invested in their field.
I like it.
And the best part is RoleCatcher also really emphasizes the power of online networking, especially on platforms like LinkedIn. They even give you tips on optimizing your profile and how to engage with other users more effectively.
So they're saying, like, hey, AI is great, but don't forget about the human touch.
Exactly. They get that having a strong online presence combined with this really strategic approach to networking, it can be just as valuable as, having a perfectly crafted resume. It's about creating this holistic and authentic personal brand.
This is all gold. I feel like I'm finally understanding what networking is really all about. And it's not about being fake or, inauthentic. It's about building genuine connections that can actually benefit everyone involved.
I think that's a great point. And it actually brings us to another really interesting aspect of RoleCatcher. Their commitment to ethical considerations in a world that's, increasingly dominated by AI.
Ethical considerations and AI, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to get caught up in all the bells and whistles and forget to think about, the potential downsides.
Absolutely. And it's refreshing.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher is actually really upfront about it.
Go.
They have a whole section on their website dedicated to ethical AI practices.
Oh, wow.
They're very clear about things like data privacy and then, the potential for algorithm bias, making sure their tech is being used responsibly.
Yeah.
That it's not, making things worse when it comes to inequalities in the job market.
That's really good to hear. It's not just like a marketing ploy. They're actually thinking about the big picture.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And it's not just lip service, which is important. They actually have a team dedicated to ethical AI, and they're constantly auditing their algorithms
Nice.
to make sure they're fair and unbiased.
Okay, I'm seriously impressed. RoleCatcher's ticking all the boxes, providing cutting-edge tools, but also promoting ethical AI practices. It's a lot to take in.
It really is.
This whole deep dive has been, like, eye-opening. I feel like I went from feeling kind of overwhelmed by the job search to actually feeling, dare I say it, excited.
I get it. It's encouraging,
Yeah.
to know that there are tools out there designed to help you navigate this new world of AI and all that.
Totally. I feel like I have a secret weapon now.
I love that.
But even with all these amazing tools, I can't help but wonder, what about those, like, intangible qualities? The things a resume can't capture, what makes us human?
That's such a good question, and I think about that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher can help you showcase your skills and experience and all of that.
Right.
But ultimately, it comes down to you to bring your unique personality, your creativity, your passion, all of that to the table.
It's like that human spark,
Yeah.
the je ne sais quoi, that makes a real impression.
Exactly.
So it's almost like technology is pushing us to be more human,
Yes.
to focus on those things that make us truly unique.
I love that. It's not humans versus machines. It's about finding that synergy, you
Yeah.
know? Using the strengths of technology, but also embracing those things that make us human.
Beautifully said. This has been an awesome deep dive into RoleCatcher. And honestly, the future of job hunting in general.
It really has.
Before we wrap things up, any parting words of wisdom for our listeners as they embark on their own career journeys?
Hmm. I'd say don't be afraid to embrace technology,
Yeah.
but also trust your gut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let that authentic self shine through, and never underestimate the power of human connection.
I love that. It's all about balance, right?
Yes,
Using these tools to our advantage, but also staying true to ourselves. This has been super inspiring.
it has.
To all our listeners out there, we hope you're feeling energized and ready to take on the world and the job market. Until next time, happy job hunting.